everyone. This is the Screencast Part 1 for Chapter 11. And first, for both Chapters 11 and 12, we're going to be focusing on kind of two different parts. So the first thing that we're going to be focusing on is how Chapter 11 and Chapter 12 go together. And we're thinking about why the author chose to organize the chapters this way, specifically with Chapters 11 and 12. And then the second part that we're focusing on is what we're learning about Grandma Sands and about Birmingham once the Watsons get there. We're going to start Chapter 11 out with our quick write in our packet. So, of course, your packet for Chapter 11 should look like this, and there's a must-do list at the top. I'm going to go through the must-do list checklist just so you're remembering to do all of these things. So we need to view the chapter screencast. That's what you're doing right now. Answer the journal prompt of the day. We're going to go through the key vocabulary. And then once this video is over, you can switch over to the audio for Chapter 11 and then finish up with your exit ticket. However, there is a choice list. So at the end of the Chapter 11 packet page, you're going to have to pick 2 comprehension questions to answer. So let's start out with the quick write right here, and I'll give you your prompt. How would you feel if you were going on a road trip? Where do you think you would go? And really focus in on how you would feel. Do you think you would be bored if you had to sit in the car for a long time? Do you think you'd be excited and happy and able to entertain yourself? Maybe you've already been on a road trip, maybe you've never been on one, so you can kind of reflect on road trips in your journal entry for today. And now we're going to hop into our vocabulary. So when you're ready to write down the definitions and draw the illustrations for each of these 3 words, make sure that you're challenging yourself by writing the definitions in your own words, not just copying down the words that we show you. It means more when it's in your own words. So the first word is rabies, and this is a disease that dogs and sometimes other mammals like raccoons can get, and it's a viral disease, which means it's like a virus. And sometimes when you see an animal with rabies, they're kind of foaming at the mouth, like in this GIF. They have a lot of saliva. That's kind of like a sign that they have rabies, but it causes kind of like seizures or convulsions, and also madness. So for the animal to experience kind of like a crazy feeling, and it is contagious. It can be transferred to humans. So that's why people with dogs and other pets, they have to get rabies vaccines or shots for their animals so that they can't contract rabies, so we can prevent that from happening. And my example is with my dogs. I have Stella right here, actually. This is one of my puppies. This is Stella Luna. And she had to get her rabies shot because she's just a puppy. And after she had it, she was able to go to the dog park and the groomers because they knew that she couldn't catch rabies or give it to other dogs. The next vocabulary word is surrender. So this is when you stop fighting your opponent and you submit to whatever they want. So if you're playing a video game or soccer or sport and you surrender, that means you give up and you're going to listen to what the other people or the other team is saying to do. My example here is that the 6th graders wanted to surrender during the Turkey Bowl because their teachers were doing so well. They knew they couldn't beat the teachers. And your third vocabulary word is pathetic. This is an adjective, so it's describing a sense of pity or you feel bad about something, especially because it looks like it's really sad or weak or vulnerable. So you can see in my GIF of Ursula here, she's talking about how pathetic Ariel is. But I also wanted to include an example here where pathetic doesn't sound like you're being so mean when you're describing something, because I think this word has a connotation where it can come off as kind of like a rude word. Like if you're calling someone pathetic, it can kind of sound mean. So I included an example like this. The animals in the shelter looked so pathetic that it broke my heart. Like they looked so sad and so vulnerable that it made me sad. All right, and so let's see where we're at in our packet. Our purpose for reading today is how does Byron act around Grandma Sands? So once you've read the chapter, you can reflect right here. There's some space for you to write down some of your ideas. And that is all I have for this part 1 screencast. I was double checking my checklist. So you can go ahead, listen to the audio, and then come back and meet me for the chapter 11 screencast part 2. Thanks so much.